Hey, congratulations on finish all your conceptual training. And I know it is a big of videos and then a lot of things that to put in your head. So now welcome to your first hands-on training. And from here it will be a lot more fun because yes, like hands-on is always more exciting stuff. So this is the first training and first lab, and then it trains you the two fundamental, like two key stuff, like key skills that you need to have specifically in the price lab. The first one is micropipetting, and as you notice, like we have a lot of micropipetter in the lab, and then that is the not the only things you do, but that is like a lot of like most of your experiment like require you to use micropipette. That is like just kind of all you do in your lab, making solvent and use micropipette and put them in, like mix them. Okay, is obviously not all you do, but it's a really major part of your life in the price lab. So you want to master the skill of pipetting, and then for this lab, one of the purpose is not only for you to practice like because the design of the lab, like you have a lot of chance to practice how to use micropipette, and it also is assessment of how accurate and how precise you can pipette yourself. And so first you want to for any experiment, you want to be able to pipette the correct amount as close as it is to what your aim, and then you also want to be able to reproduce that amount repeatedly. So that will minimize the variable in between your sample set and make your data, like your experiment, more accurate, like in like when it is in uh, different sample, different conditions. So that is what you're going to do there. So I have a figure about, wait, okay, the figure of precision and accuracy are gone. I probably need to put it back. Okay. So the other things is about making protocol. So in this pipetting lab, what you're going to do is to use water, pipetting water, ethanol, and 70% ethanol. It is a low key experiment, like it is not hazard, except to just make sure you away from the flame source because you're working with ethanol. But other than that, it is pretty safe, and there's not a lot of complex things you need to do to accomplish your task. So it is a perfect chance for you to make your own protocol. You probably already mentioned, like, hear me saying multiple times about making protocol, having a protocol in the conceptual training. So now it is your chance to make your protocol. Making protocol is important skill for your experiment because, as I mentioned in the training, that is help you think, help you plan, and get you ready and help your efficiency. So this lab is simple, but it also takes a lot of work. I will want you to spend significant time on it to just make your protocol and practice, and probably you're going to troubleshoot and repeat again. So as a just disclaimer that most students I know that they hate this lab because it is just intense and conceptual and like in the practice and in the training and in the practical making skills, it is really intense in a way that like creates pressures on you, and it is made in that way on purpose, kind of for many reasons. And so just mind that, but it will be like it is super useful. It sets you up for all the experiment in the lab and for all the concept like about good habit and making protocols. So everybody hates it, but everybody also say after they go through it, it set them up so much for the other experiments, especially when they get onto their own project. And just remember, the idea of the entire training is to set you up so you can be independent and trust and put on a project. As we mentioned before, we want you to be success. We want you to be part of the publication and contribute to the science research, not just doing dishwashing. So this is what you're going to do, and it will help you. So hanging there if it is hard, and just talk to anybody that has been in the lab that they gone through this already, and just or talk to your trainer about the detail of, like, if you have any question, just don't hesitate to communicate. And don't do it alone, like, well, you have to do it by yourself, but you're not alone in this. Okay, so now let's go into, so just going through the training package. This is a background for why you're going to use the pipette and why it is important to master it. And then this have introduction, like basic introduction of what is pipetter. And here are some resources that for you like to read through about, like, what is pipetting and how to use pipetting. And this video specifically is recorded in the lab to show us some of the trick that under our graduate students, like one of the grad student is doing. I think is a good basis for you to start on. Okay, so just going through this first. So for the lab, like, what you're going to do is you're going to make a protocol and have all the component about the protocol that is mentioned in the confessor training, and you can find the detail of what should be in a protocol in let's see, on page 8. Okay, so you can find it on page 8. According to those content, you're going to make your protocol. Think through, like, stepwise what you're going to do. So what your task is here. So you're going to pipette water, ethanol, and 70% ethanol using this fixed volume. Like, there's a 6 different volume you're going to use. So you're going to choose the correct pipetter you're going to use, and then pipette it 3 times to get replications. And then you're going to use, like, have a series addition and removal that is adding different volume and remove. So what are you going to do is, remember, this is for you to measure your precision and accuracy. So what you are going to think about is, how are you going to measure this? What chemical do you need? What supply do you need? What instrument you might need? And then how are you going to measure your accuracy and precision? And so one thing important about doing experiment, you're just not doing it for doing it. You want to do it and then analyze what you get and get a conclusion from that. So the questions you're asking in this micropipetting lab is how accurate and how precise you are. Now, so what you're going to do to analyze your data, then that questions will guide you in your data analysis, and you need to plan for your data analysis ahead of time. So for this lab, it is super easy to plan, like, exactly what you are going to analyze. Okay, so and then so you first draft your protocol from the beginning to the end, like as detailed as possible. List everything that you need, all the steps that you're going to take. And then after you have your protocol, discuss your trainers, and like you might have questions as you draft your protocol, and it is okay, you don't have to answer for it, like saying that I think I should like where I'm going to get the ethanol. That is your question, and just list there. And that is something that you can discuss with your trainer. Remember, drafting protocol is when you are preparing yourself for the lab. Okay, and then after you both have the first draft discussions of your protocol, you're ready, and make sure your trainer show you the trick of using pipette and like just show it once in person. And I did that in the videos for all my students. So just in case if my time does not match you, so you will not stuck by like because you have to wait for me. And then what you do is apply all you learn in the conceptual training, and then just keep your samples and reagents clean. Just avoid contaminations, and then perform your experiment. And after it, discuss your data with your trainer, and that is a troubleshooting idea. So take some time during this lab. Don't rush it through because it just have a lot of detail that will set you up for the further experience and help your independence in this lab. Okay, so that is mostly I want to say, and just let me know if you have any questions. And I think the document has something like some tips or what you can consider when you're doing the lab. So have fun.